Why Hollywood perform humiliation rituals? Let's watch this.
What is a humiliation ritual, and why is it being done in the first place? A humiliation ritual is a theory where many celebrities are under control by the industry and sacrifice their dignity in order to achieve fame or maintain their influence. It is allegedly an initiation process where you must lose something to get something. And like me, you may have asked yourself, why must these artists and these celebrities humiliate themselves to rise to the top? Well, as always, when we take something dark and we hold it up to the light, we can see where it all stems from. Humiliation rituals have been something I've been trying to understand and wrap my head around for a while. And recently I found myself again super curious. So I searched, is the word humiliation in the Bible? And I was met with a verse that made all of this make sense. Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor. And this made everything click.
Hold on, wait.
Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings
Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor. Proverbs 20:23. That's true.
honor. And this made everything click for me in a number of ways, because truly, those who are all about themselves, want to be worshipped by others, want to make a god out of themselves, will do anything and hurt anyone to get to the top. They may feel like they are rising, but truly they are falling. And pride, every time, ultimately ends in humiliation. And why is this? Because God resists the proud. Pride will naturally bring a man low.
Actually, it is amazing. Isn't it amazing that only God is, and God is not your enemy. God loves you so much, but God becomes your enemy when you become proud. That's the only time. That's what the Bible says, as you can saw, James 4:6. God opposes the proud, but it shows favor to the humble. You see that?
Resists the proud. Pride will naturally bring a man low. Similarly to the devil himself, the one who hoped to rise higher through his pride will ultimately fall in the end. One of the most well-known stars who was allegedly involved in a humiliation ritual is Doja Cat.
So this is head to toe Balenciaga. I have Pancanesi as the jewelry, and then I don't know. Brett would know. I have Hearts of Four on my hands, and then this is Balenciaga.
Oh my God, amazing, amazing.
And then for my grills, I had Alligator Jesus do fangs for me, but one fell out.
Okay, stop playing with her. If you give anybody a styling tip, what would it be?
Have fun. I'm boring. I don't know.
There were just so many things that led people to start connecting the dots, but she is obviously not the only one that people have speculated have been involved in humiliation rituals. Once you start looking deeper, you see how often this goes on. One of the biggest forms of humiliation rituals, and kind of what they are at its core in Hollywood, is doing something really, really embarrassing in the public eye. And we see this take place right in front of our eyes in so many different movies and so many different situations when men put on dresses or men dress as women.
Who's that?
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. When he had to go on his hiatus, he tell me, Cat, when I come back, I need you. You my young partner, you my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. Where this want me to get in a dress with him.
I'm doing a movie with Mark, so I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer, because there's a dress in here. The writer comes in, I think he's the writer, he's like, Dave, listen, you got this hilarious scene where Mark's sneaking out of jail, so he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put his dress on, and what is a prostitute? No, I'm not doing it, I don't feel comfortable with it. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. Now I'm not wearing no dress, man, I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. My Milton Berle, blah, 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 you know, we're going like this. And then finally it's like, and he leaves, and then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. Bro, this is Brokeback Mountain. This so
you don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about, does following the ritual work? And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people.
Is it John Cena?
Guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not. It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
all the comics that I've seen, man, strong brothers, why are they putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. That comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new season. Damn, how did you write the scene so fast?
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for?
I definitely have ran into to put on the dress.
I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished. And
He was dressing, is it?
and you don't want that to happen. So, you know, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
And if you've already been researching this stuff like I did, then you probably were already aware that a lot of people speculated that this is exactly what happened when it came to the Mike Tyson fight with Jake Paul. A lot of people speculated that Mike Tyson needed money and was paid to let Jake Paul win, and that this whole thing was a humiliation ritual in order for Mike Tyson to pay off his debts. I don't know. It's interesting. Needed money and to the Mike Tyson fight with Jake Paul. A lot of people speculated that Mike Tyson needed money and was paid to let Jake Paul win, and that this whole thing was a humiliation ritual in order for Mike Tyson to pay off his debts. I don't know. It's interesting, but it's also interesting how many stars we have seen and known flying high in the industry, and then all of a sudden we slowly watch them fall apart at the seams. It's so interesting that fame doesn't last, that pride doesn't last. And it's also really had me thinking about how many influencers we have seen fall. Influencers that were incredibly popular, everyone loved them, and then all of a sudden what happens? Something gets leaked. Something happens that makes everyone turn on them. Something comes out about them that people didn't really like too much, and bam, humiliation comes. And in this day and age, humiliation can be a storm. You can have millions of people on TikTok turn on you overnight.
The undisputed king of Twitch, Kai Cenat, became the NYPD's most wanted fugitive in the blink of an eye. And if that wasn't enough,
hold on.
The undisputed
can be a storm. You can have millions of people on TikTok turn on you overnight.
The undisputed king of Twitch, Kai Cenat, became the NYPD's most wanted fugitive in the blink of an eye. And if that wasn't enough, he somehow gets roped into a celebrity baby scandal and finds himself dodging allegations that could destroy everything he built. Haley Welch turned from a catchphrase master to a notorious meme queen in only half a year. December 4th of 2024, 176 after her rise to fame, Haley Welch officially disappeared from the public eye. The lawsuits, scandals, and backlash had finally caught up with her.
You can have millions of people coming after you, making fun of you, and dragging you across the internet. The mountain of pride to the valley of humiliation and shame. And this topic really hits close to home for me because I achieved fame on social media for years, and my life was full of pride. I was all about me. I wanted to have the most likes on Instagram. I wanted to be the center of attention, and I got it. I was riding in sports cars. I was living in LA. I was in music videos. I was achieving 500,000 likes, posing in barely nothing on Instagram. And before I knew it, the devil came slowly to steal, kill, and destroy my life, and a lot of people witnessed that right on camera. I quite literally started to fall apart in front of everyone, and I hit rock bottom. Well, a lot of you know the ending to that story, but Jesus was there waiting for me. But like many of these music artists and these celebrities, I was walking in pride and I was playing the devil's game. So don't think that that didn't have consequences. All the money that I made, all of the praise that I received playing the devil's game, the devil came back fourfold, and there was great humiliation sitting right at my door. People edited photos of me on a cross, made forums on...
That is a kind of the law of the universe that God has put. If you are prideful, the universe will backfire you. So you have to be humiliated always. Like you have to be you have to have this humility, always a humble heart. Always. Like otherwise, the laws that God has put will humiliate you, bro.
Reddit dedicated to attacking me. My life was threatened numerous times. I was blackmailed numerous times. Don't think I wasn't scared, and don't think I wasn't desperately leaning on this verse from Isaiah. Do not fear, for you will not be put to shame, and do not feel humiliated or ashamed, for you will not be disgraced. And that's exactly what happened. Long story short, God did not let me be put to shame, and he put my life back together after it fell apart and turned it into something beautiful. But I say all of that, and I make this video today to shine the light on pride and how destructive it is. And as Christians, how it should be our goal each and every day to make sure pride hasn't made its way into any area of our lives. There's a great book called Gentle and Lowly, and I totally recommend it to you all. I will link it below. But truly, there is power and a beautiful life and path full of fruit and blessings behind being gentle and lowly, behind being humble, behind being about yourself last, putting God and everyone else before you. This is the formula that God gives us in the Bible. This is is the formula that will change everything in your life. Not desiring to be seen by man, but desiring to be seen by God. Not desiring to be the most beautiful to man, but desiring to be beautiful inside. As man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. And not desiring to be famous. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? God bless you guys. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you for our next video.
True, that was a good video, I'm not gonna lie. If you don't have God, you have nothing. That's the only thing that I can say, chat. Go to the teller, Alicia, I guess. It's a good content, not gonna lie.